From time to time, I want to make things that are going to appear on the surface to not be healthy. And that's because I put oil in them. And you got to understand, you guys have got to eat. If you're going to be a bodybuilder, you're going to be an athlete, you're going to work out, you're going to go to the gym, you have to eat. Okay, that's part of the deal. So if you're going to eat, you got to make your food taste good. And you can't omit completely one ingredient, like one macronutrient, fat. You can't omit it. You need fat. You need good fats. They're important for your health. You got to have them. So when I put 1 tablespoon of oil in something or 1 teaspoon of oil in something, it doesn't have to set off alarms and you got to send the fat Nazis after me. It's okay to have a little fat. So today I'm going to make something with a little bit of fat in it. It's going to go a long way as far as flavor goes. It's called pesto, and I'm going to show you how to make it today on Gaspari Kitchen. Okay, the ingredients for pesto are all socially distanced here perfectly by the cameraman. I've got 1 cup of basil leaves. These looked a lot better before the lights hit them. They were really beautiful and they were kind of dried out now, but get fresh basil leaves. This is 2 tablespoons of pinoles or pine nuts. This is 2 ounces of Parmigiano cheese, or parmesan as you Americans like to say. This is 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, don't call them fat police, and this is 1 clove of garlic. Okay, there's 2 ways to make pesto. The easy way and the hard way. The hard way is with this thing, mortar and pestle. It weighs a ton. I bought it for $3 in Mexico. The old school Italians use it. They go like this, they mash everything up, it takes forever. I don't use it. I use a food processor. 2 blades, really sharp, everything goes in, you turn it on, boom, grinds everything up, all you gotta do. So the first thing you do, you gotta do this in 2 steps. Some people just dump it all in together. I've seen chefs do that, it's not correct. What you have to do is in steps. Pine nuts go in first, cheese, garlic, salt. Throw those 3 things in and grind it up until it's a paste. Until it looks just like that. Then when it looks like that, you take the basil, you stuff it in there. You can use a little bit more if you have it. It's really, the amounts here are not really super important, but you just get the gist. And then you take the 2 tablespoons of oil and you put that in. Some chefs suggest you drizzle it in as it goes. I really don't find any difference in it whatsoever. Turn it on. So like I said, sometimes a little more, a little less ingredients. If it looks like this, you need a little more oil in it. I'm gonna put in another tablespoon. And don't worry, when we measure this out at the end, you'll see how very little that actually is. So when if usually I make a little bit, I make about twice as much of this, so it circles around in the food processor a little more. If that's not gonna happen for you, then it looks a little dry, go ahead and scrape it down with a spatula and let it go again. And there you have it, it's done. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's done. Now, all together, the whole entire thing, all of that, has 720 calories, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 22 grams of protein, and a whopping 66 grams of fat. But how much do you need? That much. 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons is going to give you 11 servings. 11 of these are in there, and each one of these contains 65.5 calories, 0.27 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fat. Now, how do you use it? I'll show you in a sec. So here's 8 ounces of cooked pasta. That's a hefty serving. I would probably only eat about half of that. This is 2 teaspoons of pesto. I'm gonna put that in right in there. And this is some of the water that the pasta was cooked in. My grandmother always saved some water from the pasta. You gotta save water from the pasta. You dip the coffee cup in it, you put it off to the side. I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in there, and I'm gonna take this just like this and put it in the microwave for a minute. All right, that's done. Take that out, and now you stir it up. And eventually you'll see the whole thing turn green. Well, slightly green. So that's it. Not too much, it's just enough to flavor it. You eat it just like you eat regular pasta, and it sure is good. So the way you calculate the nutrition value is I just weighed it. So after you make everything, you weigh the whole thing, and then you take out a serving. In that case, it was 2 teaspoons. I weighed that and then divided it, and that's how many servings I got was 11. Okay, put a cover on it. It stays in the fridge for like a month. You can use it on anything. You can put it on fish. You can put it on meat. You can put it on in your egg whites. You can put it in your egg whites before you scramble them. You can put them on top of your egg whites after you scramble them. Pasta, beans, rice. It goes on absolutely anything, and people love it. So will you.